Welcome to Disorderly Conduct's Plasma Cruisin video. We're going to be playing Diesel. It's an art bot, a big America style pickup truck. It's only got 5 plasma cannons, but 5 is perfectly fine if you've got good aim. We've got running boards, smokestacks, lots of ground clearance, side steps for the bed. Gotta have all these things when you're driving a truck. We're also using 4 steering wheels. 4-wheeled vehicles have a really huge turning radius if you don't have all 4 wheels as turning wheels. So we have quadra-steer. And we're going to head out, help take a tower, see what's out here to shoot at, if there's any rail gunners. There's not on that cliff side, but there is some aircraft, so we're going to shoot at them. It's not always a good idea because hitting aircraft with plasma is a very difficult thing to do. The faster they're moving, the less likely you are to hit them. That guy was moving slow, so I took a couple shots at him. It's one of the things I was well known for playing a game called PlanetSide 2, is I'd take out the armor penetrating tank, lightning tank, and I would go shoot aircraft with it, which is very difficult to do in that game as well, but that's why I did it. And it was very effective. If you're good at it, it's very effective, but don't go build a plasma bot and think you're going to take it out and use it for anti-air, because that's not what they're for. So we're going to come back out, fight some more. Plasmas are very good at area of effect damage. Don't actually have to hit the enemy directly to do some damage. They're good at stripping weapons, just like that. We take his Tesla blades off. That's one of the things you're really going to want to watch out for if you're driving a plasma cruiser or a plasma tank, or these guys that'll rush you with their Tesla blades. You really need to aim for those and get rid of them before they get to you. Then you can focus on the rest of the bot. You'll want to try to aim for their weapons if you can. Plasma is really good at stripping weapons off, especially when they're all mounted on the top. That's what he gets for pushing me sideways a minute ago. Not gonna say I didn't enjoy that. So we've got things under control. On that side, we're going to head out to this other side here and see what's going on. As a plasma cruiser, or a plasma tank, or a plasma hover, whatever you're playing with plasma cannons, you're more support for your team. You're not a frontline bot. You need to hang back some and try to strip weapons off, do damage, maybe splash damage to get rid of movement parts. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm hanging back behind our SMG tank, and I'm even leaving him plenty of room to retreat, because you don't want to be right behind your allies, and when they need to back up, you're in their way, so they have to sit there and take damage. You're just helping the enemy team when you do stuff like that. Hey, we're gonna ignore him. It's a waste of time to try to shoot those ejector seats. They're just poor sports who don't like quote-unquote losing. So they'll fly away, and if you're wasting time shooting at them, they're laughing at you. I mean, because you're wasting time shooting in a chair. And they're probably going to get away anyway. Now that was a good shot. Like I said, don't take your plasma out and think you're going to use it for anti-air just because I'm doing it in this video. It's pretty darn difficult. Once you get the hang of it, you may be able to do it semi-reliably like I do here on the slower moving aircraft, but you definitely don't want to see, say, one of those hamster balls flying around all crazy and try shooting at him with your plasma, because you're probably going to miss, you're not going to one-shot him, and he's going to get mad. You're alerting him to your presence, he's going to come kill you. So notice how we're playing peekaboo. We're hanging out in spots where cover is readily available, so we can just move a little bit and into relative safety. And then we're going to play some peekaboo again. We're going to hang way back. We're going to lob plasma at him from a distance. And if he starts shooting at me like that, all I have to do is drive away. It's just a very brief moment that he gets to put any damage to me. So now that he knows we're there, we're not going to charge up there, even though we need to defend that tower. Because he's an SMG, and he is more than likely going to shred us between our reloads before we can do any tangible damage to him. So we're just going to move on. That tower's close to our base. We've got allies nearby. There's no need to hang out and try to Rambo it by yourself. So we're going to come over here and try to take this tower. This is a good tower to take on this map from the side we're playing on too. So when you're using plasma on towers, it's the second best weapon for towers. You want to aim for the center of the crystals. Don't aim low or high. Right in the middle is best. That way your splash damage damages the other crystals around it too. So you're getting the most out of your area of effect damage. Take a wild shot or two at this guy. Yeah. And we're going to move out. You don't want to hang around in one spot for too long either as a plasma cruiser, tank, or hover. You want to move around, put yourself in different areas of the map. Aircraft know you have a really hard time hitting them, so if you hang out in the same area, they're going to come to that area and try to kill you over and over again. So you definitely want to be very mobile. So here we are. We're going to try to strip this guy's mega guns off, just like that. He got smoked. Ooh, he got smoked. And then we'll go back and help take this tower again. I said plasma is very good for taking towers. You'll knock a lot of crystals off. Even at early overclock levels, you'll be very efficient at taking towers. It's actually one of your main jobs if you're not supporting teams should be taking those towers back while the other bots duke it out. So we're going to head over here, help defend our base. Thought there was more than one guy here, but apparently not. And since we've spent some time in the middle, we're going to cruise back around to this side and see what's going on over here and maybe take this tower again. Got a bomber. I'm not going to shoot at him though and alert him to my presence. It's tempting, but you don't just want to take wild shots because those plasma blobs are very easy to see, hard to miss, so people see them, they know you're there. See how I'm going to position myself too with that little mound of dirt between me and that cliff because rails like to sit up there, and we're going to shoot at the middle of the tower, right on the little connector strip, and see how it takes just huge chunks of crystals off all at once. And our job here is done. I don't see any rails over there, so let's go ahead and we've got all the towers. Let's head over and attack their reactor. We'll probably die doing this, but if you can do a lot of damage, even take off one strip of connectors, then you've done good and it's worth your death. Shields back up. Okay, in this case, we're going to back up and get out of there. Never want to go into their base with their shield up all alone as a plasma, because you are more than likely going to die when that happens. Especially if there's an SMG hanging out in there. You have virtually no chance unless his bot is a bad build and you get a lucky one shot. So there's another hit on aircraft. He's easy to hit because he was just kind of hovering there. Ooh, sorry. And we try to, yeah, there we go. And that's why you need to pay attention to what's going on around you. This guy just kicked me off of here, and I'm probably going to die now, all set into motion, because he's just derping around up there, doesn't know what's going on behind him at all. knocked me over the edge. And now I've derped myself and flipped my truck. This truck's actually pretty tippy too. You've seen how high up it sits. It's very top heavy, but if you're relatively careful, you won't flip it all the time. So, and we are gonna die here. We got 2 medics, Tesla guy. There's probably more enemies. Yeah, there's one. Let's maybe try to take his gun off. We're not doing enough damage with 1 plasma cannon to even get rid of it, so we'll just respawn and try again.
Loading the truck on the side, I'm gonna head back.
Should probably just fast forward through these respawn times, but there's not really enough of them to save much video time. I like to keep my instructional or tutorial videos down to about 10 minutes. But we're already at that mark, so hopefully we'll win the match soon. I don't like them to go on for 20 minutes because there's just the information I give ends up being all fractured and out of order. So we'll strip some more guns off of these guys if we can. They got guns mounted on the top, so we'll aim for the top of their vehicles.
Seems okay so far.
A little low there, but I was actually aiming for his gun mounts. There we go, that's a good hit up high. Plasma is also good for getting through chinks in the electroplates, but you don't want to just aim for the electroplates because they'll absorb a lot of damage. And plasmas are pretty bad at getting through EPs. So we'll strip his gun off. Try to at least. Notice how we're hanging back while the rest of the team goes in there. That's what you want to do. You want to play similar to a rail when you're driving a plasma bot. But don't hang back quite as far as a rail because of that projectile you're firing. It's not a hit scan weapon, so you need to be a mid-range player. We can't really play peekaboo here, but I positioned myself up high on the hill, so I have the advantage. Didn't charge down in there. You see there's 3 bots. I'm trying to take care of these medics, his guns, but there's really too many of them to go down in there and just brawl with. You don't want to do that with a plasma, especially missing a wheel like I am. So we'll turn sideways, lob some at them. They start coming up the hill. We're going to retreat.
But yeah, I wish it was an automatic door.
We get knocked out of here. That really wasn't his fault. He just came around a corner, blind corner, so we're not going to complain about that. We're going to try to strip some more guns off of these guys. Watch where I aim. Aiming for the top of his vehicle where his guns are mounted. A direct hit on weapons will strip them off pretty easily. Your team can clean up the rest. So again, I'm aiming for guns. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but that's what you want to do with plasma. Aim for guns. A lot of times you also have weak bots who, like this truck here has a lot of ground clearance. You'll see some bots now and then that have similar ground clearance, so what you want to do, you can try getting splash damage underneath the vehicle. I'm not sure about that. And if their build is weak underneath, you'll destroy both of their seat blocks with 1 hit. Used to be a lot more common than it is now. A lot of people are getting smarter and building better, but sometimes you can still do it, so it's worth a shot. And that is game and match. We win. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you learned something. See you next time.